What if I told you the best rookie quarterback season in NFL history may have just unfolded right before our eyes, and most of us didn't even notice?
Why did Mark Cuban just sell a majority stake in the Mavericks?
Jayden Daniels burst into the scene this year with the poise of a veteran, lighting up defenses, breaking rookie records, and lifting a struggling franchise into playoff contention. But did he really have the greatest rookie season ever? Dan Marino's phenomenal rookie campaign in 1983 seems unbeatable, but Daniels might have just topped it. What about other great rookie QBs in the past? Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, or even Cam Newton? Let's dive into the numbers, the moments, and the legacy to determine who truly owns the crown of the greatest rookie quarterback season of all time. For most of NFL history, rookie quarterbacks have been graded on a forgiving curve. Learning an NFL playbook is an academic marathon. Decoding exotic coverages in real time is the mental equivalent of speed chess. Even the best prospects, John Elway, Peyton Manning, Trevor Lawrence, spend much of their first year trying to survive. The bar for a great rookie season has traditionally been modest, cracking 4,000 passing yards, keeping interceptions in single digits, and maybe drag the franchise near a .500 record. In 17 games, the Washington Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels threw for 3,568 yards, rushed for another 891, which is an NFL record for a rookie quarterback, and accounted for 31 total touchdowns against just 9 interceptions. Cam Newton as a rookie in 2011 was very similar, with 4,051 passing yards, 706 rushing yards, 35 total touchdowns, but 17 turnovers just to get there. Daniels produced a Pro Bowl clip while protecting the football like a 10-year veteran. His touchdown to interception ratio of 25-9 and 100.1 passer rating is some of the best in rookie history. But raw stats don't tell the whole story. Let's borrow 2 advanced metrics to dig deeper. Picture a scatter plot with EPA per play on the x-axis and adjusted net yards per attempt on the y-axis, charting the best rookie quarterbacks with at least 300 dropbacks since 2000. EPA per play estimates how much a quarterback's average snaps shifts the scoreboard in their team's favor. Adjusted net yards per attempt folds touchdowns, interceptions, sacks, and yardage into a single efficiency figure. The 2024 league averages were approximately .109 EPA per play and 6.24 adjusted net yards per attempt. Daniels finished at .202 EPA per play and 6.5 adjusted net yards per attempt, numbers that place him in the same neighborhood as Russell Wilson during his legendary rookie season. And unlike any of his peers, he added an average of 52.4 rushing yards per game, making him a dual-threat dynamo. To ground the greatest rookie season, we need context. Let's examine the legends, their numbers, and circumstances that shaped their campaigns. Dan Marino in 1983. In just 9 starts, Marino threw for 2,210 yards, 20 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions, completing 58.4% of his passes. His plus 7.39 adjusted net yards per attempt was league standard for rookie quarterbacks, as he led the league in that stat in his rookie year. And his 96.0 pass rating was revolutionary for that era. However, Marino played in a simpler time with less complex defensive schemes and benefited from a strong offensive line and Hall of Fame caliber teammates like Mark Clayton. He also wasn't asked to contribute as a runner, limiting his overall impact compared to modern dual-threat quarterbacks. Cam Newton's rookie season was a spectacle. He broke records with 4,051 passing yards and added 706 rushing yards with 14 rushing touchdowns, totaling over 4,700 yards and 35 touchdowns. His plus .168 adjusted EPA per play was solid, but revealed inconsistency, and his 22 turnovers, which included 17 interceptions and 5 fumbles, were a blemish. The Carolina Panthers finished 6-10, a testament to Newton's raw talent, but also his developing command. The box score dazzled, but the efficiency lagged. Luck inherited a 2-14 Indiana Colts team and led them to 11 wins, a remarkable turnaround. He passed for 4,374 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 18 interceptions. However, his adjusted net yards per attempt of 5.66 and 0.106 adjusted EPA per play underscored inefficiency. Luck's heroics came at the cost of precision, as he often relied on volume to move the offense. He was a warrior, but not a surgeon. Wilson threw for 3,118 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions, adding 489 rushing yards and 4 scores on the ground. His plus .213 adjusted EPA per play and 100 passer rating showcased polish beyond his years. Yet Wilson leaned on a dominant defense, the Legion of Boom, and a bruising run game led by Marshawn Lynch. He was a steady hand, not the engine of the Seattle Seahawks' success. Thrust into action unexpectedly, Justin Herbert threw for 4,336 yards and 31 touchdowns in 15 games. With a 6.84 adjusted net yards per attempt and a .0177 EPA per play, his deep ball was among the league's best, but he took 32 sacks and struggled with late game decisions at times. Herbert was a rocket, but still unpolished. Dak Prescott posted a 23-4 TD to interception ratio and led the Dallas Cowboys to 13 wins. His 7.86 adjusted net yards per attempt and .287 EPA per play were elite, but he operated behind the NFL's best offensive line, and alongside Ezekiel Elliott, who led the league in rushing. His context cushioned his success. Robert Griffin III, with 3,200 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 815 rushing yards. His 102.4 passer rating led the league, but his success leaned heavily on a schemed offense tailored to his athleticism. Injuries and inconsistency later in the season exposed his limitations. Compared to these icons, Daniels' 2025 season stands out for the best balance of volume, efficiency, and impact in a challenging environment. Among quarterbacks mentioned earlier, Daniels ranked 3rd in passer rating and 3rd in QBR, trailing only Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott. But unlike Wilson and Prescott, who benefited from Hall of Fame caliber backfields in Marshawn Lynch and Ezekiel Elliott, Daniels was thrust into a rebuilding roster that had finished 4-13 just one season prior. Before even taking a snap in the regular season, Daniels was already facing steep odds. He was drafted into a franchise undergoing a total reset. Year 1 of the Dan Quinn and Adam Peterson era marked a sweeping overhaul for the Washington Commanders. Quinn and Peters inherited not only the NFL's worst defense in 2023, but also a roster in need of identity. Their response was bold, reconstructing the defensive unit through free agency and the draft, transforming it from a league worst group to a league average one in a single season. But the real transformation came on the offensive side of the ball. Under Cliff Kingsbury's system, Jayden Daniels didn't just meet expectations, he shattered them. He set the all-time rookie record for completion percentage and broke the quarterback's rushing record for a first-year player with 891 yards. Most importantly, he led the Commanders to a 12-5 record, a franchise that hasn't sniffed double-digit wins in years. Daniels didn't just rewrite records, he rewrote history. He surpassed Andrew Luck's previous rookie mark for total offensive yards, regular season and playoffs combined, finishing with a staggering 5,416 yards. That's more than any rookie quarterback in league history, and he did it at just 23 years old. Daniels guided the Commanders to their first NFC Championship appearance since 1991, a 33-year drought. To put that into perspective, the last time Washington played for the NFC crown, they went on to win the Super Bowl, and Daniels was still nearly a decade away from being born. The gap between conference championship appearances tied the Bengals stretch from 1988 to 2021 for the longest in NFL history since the merger. And he didn't get there by coasting. Daniels knocked out the 3rd-seeded NFC South champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a wildcard round and followed it up by eliminating the top-seeded Detroit Lions, who boosted the NFC's best record in the divisional round. With those playoff victories added to his regular season resume, Daniels finished with 14 total wins as a starter, tying Ben Roethlisberger for the most by a rookie quarterback in NFL history. And that's why Jayden Daniels had the best rookie quarterback season of all time. But there was another quarterback who made very similar noise just the year before. CJ Stroud wasn't supposed to do what he did. Stroud in his rookie year became just the 5th rookie to pass for 4,000 yards in a season and the first Ohio State quarterback to be named to a Pro Bowl. His connection with another rookie, receiver Tank Dell, was also prolific. They finished with the 8th most passing yards for a first-year quarterback and wide receiver duo. And what's even crazier, CJ Stroud became the first rookie to lead the NFL in touchdown to interception ratio since the NFL-AFL merger in 1970. That's not just impressive, it's historic. And he didn't do it with a loaded roster, trotting out one of the youngest teams in football. Their offensive line was banged up, the run game was inconsistent, and their leading receiver Nico Collins was still largely unproven. Still, Stroud delivered. Week after week, he operated like a 10-year veteran. And then came the playoffs. In a 45-14 blowout win over the Cleveland Browns, Stroud threw for 274 yards and 3 touchdowns, tying the all-time rookie record for touchdown passes in a playoff game. His 157.2 passer rating in that game is tied for the 3rd highest ever in playoff history. Not for a rookie, for anyone. He wasn't done making history. Stroud became the first quarterback drafted in the top 2 to win a playoff game in his rookie year since 1967. And at just 22 years and 102 days old, he became the youngest quarterback ever to win a playoff game, breaking Michael Vick's record. In that moment, it became clear, Stroud wasn't just ahead of the schedule. He was shifting the timeline, redefining what we expect from first-year quarterbacks. He ended his rookie campaign, regular season and playoffs combined, with over 4,700 total yards, just 5 interceptions, and a series of clutch late-game heroics. He didn't just raise the bar. And then Jayden Daniels came along. Dual-threat quarterbacks has always energized fan bases, but few arrive as polished passers straight out the gate. Cam Newton flirted with it in 2011. Lamar Jackson eventually refined it. Robert Griffin III flashed brilliance, but Jayden Daniels, he was different, playing a mistake-free football while shouldering a full offensive load in both the air and on the ground. And he didn't just dazzle in the regular season. Daniels carried that excellence into the playoffs. He became only the 2nd rookie quarterback in NFL history to knock off their conference's #1 seed, joining Joe Flacco, who did it with the Ravens in 2008 when the Washington Commanders defeated a top-seeded opponent. Unlike Flacco or Ben Roethlisberger, who had dominant defenses propelling them, Daniels led a team boasting the NFL's 18th ranked scoring defense, a middle-tier unit by comparison. That didn't just slow him down. Daniels didn't just hold his own. He led all quarterbacks in playoff passing yards with 822 and touchdowns with 5 as a rookie. That's not just impressive, it's historic. Stats capture performance, but impact transcends numbers. Daniels' preparation earned rave reviews from coaches. Teammates described his calm under pressure as veteran-like. After losses, he was unflappable. After wins, he was focused. Veterans called his presence seasoned, and even in high-stake moments. The Commanders didn't just win more, they believed more. His leadership was quiet but relentless. First in, last out, Daniels carried a chip on his shoulder from being overlooked in draft debates. The edge translated to execution, inspiring a roster that has been mired in mediocrity. Belief became wins, and Daniels was the catalyst. Daniels' season didn't just rewrite record books, it shifted the paradigm for rookie quarterbacks. Historically, teams hope for competence from first-year passers. Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions in 1998. John Elway completed just 47.5% of his passes in 1983. Even Trevor Lawrence, the generational prospect, posted a negative EPA per play in 2021. Daniels, like Stroud before him, proved rookies can be immediate game changers, blending efficiency, versatility, and leadership. This shift reflects broader trends. Modern college offenses with their spread concepts and RPO-heavy schemes better prepare quarterbacks for the NFL. Daniels, a product of LSU's high-octane system, arrived with a head start, but his ability to adapt to NFL complexity, reading coverages, managing protections, and exploiting mismatches set him apart. His success challenges teams to rethink how quickly they should expect rookies to contribute. Skeptics might argue Marino's efficiency, Newton's volume, or Stroud's polish. Marino's 1983 season was a masterclass, but his limited starts and lack of a rushing dimension capped his case. Newton's 2011 campaign was historic, but his turnovers and team's losing record dims its shine. Stroud's 2023 season was near perfect, but Daniels matched his efficiency while adding a ground game and overcoming a weaker roster. Others might pose to Prescott's 2016 efficiency or Wilson's 2012 playoff run, yet both benefited from elite supporting casts, unlike Daniels' bare-bones situation. Herbert's 2020 season was prolific, but his sack rate and decision-making lapses trailed Daniels' position. No one else combines Daniels' statistical dominance, situational mastery, and team-lifting impact. Blend everything: volume, efficiency, rushing, turnovers, context, wins, leaderships, and the podium forms. Jayden Daniels in 2025, unprecedented balance of passing, rushing, and poise. CJ Stroud in 2023, elite efficiency and clutch moments, but less versatility. Cam Newton in 2011, historical volume, but marred by turnovers and losses. Dan Marino had the purest arm. Russell Wilson had the playoff moment. Andrew Luck had the turnaround. But Daniels checked every box. He didn't just play like a veteran, he played like an MVP candidate. He saw the standard CJ Stroud set in 2023 and raised it. Jayden Daniels just delivered the greatest rookie quarterback season in NFL history.